Welcome to this episode of the Cold Start Corner. I'm Eric Matei, and today we are jumping into episode 3 of 3, helping you compose your strategic business plan. So you'll recall your strategic business plan serves as the blueprint for your path forward. And together with that financial forecast and feasibility analysis, establishes that good, solid foundation to provide not only a financial and a bigger picture strategic understanding of the business for you, but also to your bank, to future associates, and any other third-party stakeholders that are going to have a vested interest in seeing what you got going on in your practice. So you will recall that the strategic business plan is composed of 7 key sections, most of which we've touched on in some prior episodes. So you recall it all started a couple of episodes ago. We were talking on the executive summary and the company description. Again, kind of a high-level view of what you've got going on in your practice. Then in the last episode, we got a bit more of a deep dive into the exact scope of care, products, and services that you'll deliver both now and in the future, as well as dug into that market analysis, right? Understanding what makes you uniquely different and understanding that competitive landscape out there. In today's episode, we're going to jump into the next 2 sections of the strategic business plan, that being strategy and implementation and organization and management team. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. But before we do, you may recall that, well, Eric, you said there were 7 sections of a business plan, but today is only number 5 and number 6. Well, that's because that 7th section, that financial forecast and feasibility analysis, you'll recall we spent the first 4 episodes jumping into. Why? Because it's so vitally important to the practice, both now in the planning stage, as well as through development and launch. So today we are going to jump into sections 5 and 6 of your strategic business plan, that being strategy and implementation and details on your team, management team, organizational structure, what have you. So strategy and implementation, what are we talking about here, right? You can think of this section of your business plan as really summarizing all of your sales and marketing strategies, as well as providing the operating plan for implementation. So there's a couple of key areas you're going to be sure are captured here in this strategy and implementation chapter. First is going to be SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis, you'll recall from the previous episode, stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. But whereas prior, we were conducting that SWOT analysis around the competitive landscape, today in strategy and implementation, this is all about the SWOT analysis for your practice. So again, identify your core differentiators and understand that competitive advantage centered around your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So next to the SWOT analysis in the strategy and implementation chapter of your business plan is going to be your marketing strategy. Now, mind you, this is a whole world in and of itself. As a matter of fact, you will note that in later stages of your cold start, in the launch phase, which we're going to be getting into in some later episodes here at the Cold Start Corner, we're going to dig deep into taking that marketing plan to the next step. But here with strategy and implementation, think of a high-level marketing strategy. So here we're talking about the 4 Ps framework, which is all about your products and services, your pricing, promotions, placement. Again, marketing strategy in some of these more conventional areas of strategic marketing. Also here with your marketing strategy, you're going to want to jump into marketing channels, strategic alliances, what have you. Again, this is a big, fascinating world in and of itself, of just the whole world of strategy and implementation, particularly on the marketing front. So the third key area of this strategy and implementation chapter is going to be about operations and labor. And this is where you look at the general operational function, inclusive of the sources of labor. So what are you going to have insourced or in-house? What services and workflows are you going to be outsourcing, as well as starting to formulate what that organizational chart will look like. Now, mind you, this also is going to serve much later in your cold start process when we get to the launch phase and we're talking about your team, your human resources, recruitment, and retention. Again, if you've done a thorough job in coming up with a detailed understanding of what operations and labor will look like here in your business plan, then when it's time to start hiring people, it's going to be a heck of a lot easier to come up with job descriptions and functions and plug personnel in. Okay, so we've touched on strategy and implementation, and now to jump into that sixth section of your strategic business plan, which is all about the organization and management team. Now this, obviously you can look at this and you might think if you are a single doctor cold start, you might look at this and say, well, Eric, I mean, it's kind of me and my team, right? You can kind of start to have some ideas around what that org chart will look like. But have an appreciation, even right now from day one, have an appreciation for understanding exactly what departments you will have and what key employees you will have. Once again, you're going to notice we're going to walk through this Cold Start Corner process, get you to your grand opening. And chances are by the time you hit the 3-year mark, 36 months in, which may seem like a really far off right now, but it's going to happen. You're destined for it. Believe you me, the more attention you can spend right now in establishing your organization management team and really understanding that, you're going to set yourself up for success as your practice starts to grow and you really start to scale, right? So here in organization management, we're talking about ownership. So information about you as the owner. Obviously, if there's any other additional owners involved, that component is vitally important, right? Next up is going to be, oh, by the way, when you're talking about ownership here, this is where you'll definitely want to provide a brief biography, right? Give a little background about yourself and some of your professional goals and aspirations and achievements. Again, put yourself here in the shoes of a banker who you're going to want to feel very confident in loaning you the funds you need to make your vision come to reality. So next to ownership, then you're going to get into management team here. So we're talking about profiles, backgrounds, roles and responsibilities, and really highlight the expertise and experience needed for different roles of your management team. And then the third key area for your organization and management team section of your business plan is going to be the organizational chart. So again, descriptions of departments and key employees. So when you put all this together, this, in addition to our previous episodes, and then way back when, even episodes prior to that, when we were jumping into that financial forecast and feasibility analysis, again, all of this is about helping you plan for your cold start and lay down that good, solid foundation with sound economics and financial analysis as that foundation and a sound business plan, a sound blueprint to help your cold start dream come to reality. So as far as your homework goes, go into the Cold Start Corner at Akrinos.com. We've got a couple of one-pagers on each of these sections of writing your strategic business plan, and spend some time. Take it all together. I know in these last few episodes, we've thrown a lot of content out there. It's really exciting stuff. Shoot us an email, leave a comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on the socials, visit the Cold Start Corner at Akrinos.com, and keep us posted. We love your input. Again, questions, comments, thoughts, or anything you have. Also, share your story. If you're going through the Cold Start journey right now, we would love to hear from you and how it's going. So on behalf of our team here at Akrinos and the Cold Start Corner, I'm Eric Matei signing off, wishing you all the best as you plan